BellMTS's Stories from the Hill is a look back at the roots of our festival, an authentic showcase of those special moments where artists and fans connected in their own way. There's so much more meaning to Dauphin's Countryfest than the party itself, stories we would like to share. It's easy to forget that this is a nonprofit organization when you see the unbelievable mark it's made on the community and the countless organizations that have benefited from it. BellMTS's Stories from the Hill will highlight and keep some of those memories and special stories alive until the next time we can gather on the hill for Dauphin's Countryfest.
Offhand, do you know how many times you played Countryfest? I know.
Oh, it has to. I've got, it's got to be close to 10. Do you know how many?
Yeah. I don't. I wasn't putting you on the spot. I normally don't ask questions. Well, that's not true. They always say
Well,
don't.
you don't know the answer, but you asked me anyway.
I did, yeah. But I assumed it was about 10.
I would think it's about 10. Yeah. If the average is every 2 to 3 years, and I've been touring for 25 years, that would work out to be, yeah. Well, you know, maybe even a couple more times. I don't know.
I know you've played so many festivals across North America and in the world. Do you remember by any chance the first time you played it, seeing that amphitheater, the bowl for the first time?
I do, and I remember thinking that it was very different than any venue I'd played at, any festival I'd played. It's a permanent building fixture. Yeah. It's a shed, you know. It's an amphitheater they built for this festival, and the big concrete stage, and I mean, it's not like they haul in a double wide and a light truss and say, hey, have a good time. Sit in the grass, everybody. Like, they created a real great atmosphere. And wasn't there a hot tub on stage there for a while?
There was, yep. And I was talking to Dallas about it. And the first year that CMT went there, that we pointed our camera at that a lot, because what a visual kind of different kind of visual thing. We called it girl soup because it was.
Well, now it's COVID soup. So.
Yeah, there will be no hot tub. For me, when I go back now, it doesn't even seem like it was built. It almost seems like the earth revealed this amphitheater. It's such a unique thing, you know, it's built into the side of the earth.
It is, and the whole backstage area is permanent. And I remember hearing about it growing up, or when it came along, and finally I got to play it. And it's one of the better run festivals that I've ever played, and it's fun. I've had some really great moments there. There's one time recently, because you stay in a hotel in town.
Yep. And
I remember going to eat lunch at Boston Pizza, and the bartender was there. He said, "You going to the festival later?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be there." He goes, "Yeah, who are you going to see?" I said, "Oh, just about everybody on the show." And yeah, I'm going to go with my friends. And he had no idea that it was me sitting there. And I got on stage and I called him out in front of the entire crowd. I said, "Where's the bartender from Boston Pizza?" He comes marching down to the front of the stage, and I sang to him and flirted with him. He was so cute. That was a fun moment.
That's amazing.
It was so much fun and things like that. And a lot of times I always eat earlier in the day when I do a show. So a lot of times I'm out locally, like someplace having lunch, and the people there are going to the show that night. But I fly so incognito without any makeup on. And speaking of makeup, thank you for giving me an excuse to actually put some on today. My face recognition on my phone doesn't even work anymore when I have makeup on. It doesn't. It's like, who the hell are you? You don't even know if I'm wearing pants. Anyway.
Hey, that goes both ways, by the way.
Wait a
minute. You know, that is funny. The bartender, obviously, it's out of context, right? You would never assume that the star of the show would be eating at the Boston Pizza.
And, you know, I think that the boots and the hat it's such a bit of an image, right? Yeah. And I think people think I'm 8 feet tall. They literally in their head think I'm 8 feet tall, that I'm this big gladiator woman. And I walk in a pair of cargo pants and tennis shoes and a ball cap and no makeup on. And you know, I think they have a thing in their head that does not compute with this woman who just sat down at the bar to eat chicken wings. So it's fun though. I have fun with it sometimes. And I mention them at the show that night and they're there. and they raise the woo, start screaming and raising their hand. I'm like, yeah, that was nice to meet you today. And they have no idea that was me.
That's so excellent. What a great story that is.
It's fun.
Yeah, I know that there's that different festivals have different vibes, and I've mentioned this to most of the people that I talked about. It's a very welcoming place, and I know that crowds can get rowdy at any festival, but there's something that about Dauphin's Country Fest that just feels a little bit. Everybody's kind of looking out for each other a little bit. You know, there's a nice vibe in the audience there. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I like about it is you don't have the white chairs, the VIP.
Yeah.
You get a much greater connection with the crowd, because any artist is going to tell you that's the part that they hate most about festivals is all the sponsors get the best seats and the fans are stuck over here and way in the back. They're the ones that want to be there, and it's hard to connect and to feel their energy when they're so far away. So, and I understand we need the sponsors and VIPs because they're paying for us to be there. But that's what I like about Dauphin is it just feels a little closer. You know, the fence is right there. You can go right to the edge of the stage and see people, look people in the eye and feel that kind of energy. But they're very enthusiastic. It's a great crowd to play to. The last time I played there, I got blown off stage by a thunderstorm and I got 10 minutes into my set.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to finish, which that was not fun.
I was there. I was there with you. Yeah.
I know, you travel all that way and there people are waiting and you're wanting to play. Yeah, we travel to play. We don't travel because we like it. We travel to get there and play and to get 3 songs in and get the plug pulled. It's a safety precaution, obviously. And that was no fun. We had a lot of weather issues this last touring summer that we did. But then the time before that I played there, Dwight Yoakam was headlining. He was on after me. And I remember telling my agent saying, I wish I got more than 60 minutes. I really want to play longer than 60 minutes. And he said, well, that's okay. Well, do your 60 minutes and do your hits and, we'll go. And so Dwight Yoakam's plane, something happened where he couldn't land in the right place. And he was circling and really, really late. So my set went from the 60 minutes that I thought wasn't long enough for me to do what I wanted to do to 75. So they asked me to play 75 minutes. And then as Dwight was just not landing and his set time was getting later and later and later, I think I got up to 90 minutes or 2 hours and played absolutely everything I've ever recorded.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Played and played and played and played. I played for so long and I pulled out every American hit, every Canadian hit. It was just
I love it.
But I'm really fortunate to have been able to do that. Could I have done that in the States? I don't know. I've got more of a catalog even in Canada, that goes beyond the 2000s songs like Northern Girl and Gypsy Boots and stuff like that people aren't as aware of down here. So I was able to kind of throw everything into the Canadian kitchen sink and come up with the longest set possible, but we had a ball. It was fun.
Well, that's incredible. And I mean, obviously it's a testament to your skill and your memory and your band that you guys could do that, particularly playing a bunch of songs that you probably hadn't rehearsed.
Right. Yeah. And in the summertime, we go back and forth between the United States and Canada so much. And I have kind of 2 different sets for each show. We just did it all, threw it all in there. And it was so much fun. I'm sure people were getting ready to I think they were wanting to grab the big cane and get me off the stage so they could see somebody else. But
no, that's a special thing. They can say that they were there when. Can you imagine how Dwight was feeling circling in that plane? No, like how stressed you get when you're late for an appointment, never mind when you're late for thousands of people.
I don't think he got there till 10 or 10:30 or something like that, or went on at 11, but it went later that night. And a lot of these outdoor shows have curfews because they can only make noise for so long. So that was a fun time it was kind of exciting because it was fun because we had to fly by the seat of our pants a bit.
Well, there's only a handful of artists they could ask to do that you have enough songs. You've got the skill and the talent and the catalog to be able to pull that off. There's a lot of artists who they would have had on stage wouldn't have been able to do it. Hey, they would have had to ask one of the earlier artists to come back on and play again.
It's funny because in the beginning of my career, when I was first getting out there playing Walmart parking lots and, when Better Things to Do came out, I would open the show with it and I'd close the show with it because it's all I had. Yeah. So, I could have gone out and done Better Things to Do on a loop for an hour and a half.
You're like, what's that? Did somebody say they want to hear that again? 1, 2,
Yay,
3.
Let's go. If you didn't know the song when you got here, you're going to know it by the time you leave.
That's fantastic. I know you said you have to go. Who are you interviewing today?
Patty Loveless.
Come on.
I know, right? And she's not been super active, and she's not doing, she does very select shows and things now, and has sort of been in a bit of a semi-retirement mode, or just being really quiet the last decade or so.
You have a
So
relationship with her?
enough that I was able to reach out and just flat out ask her if she would do Country Gold, which is the show that I have. It's actually airing on a bunch of Stingray stations up there now. Finally, it's a 90s intensive, very music oriented 90s country show, and I have a guest every week, and some of them I chase down myself, and some of them are doing media days and press days, and we get to get in on that. But this is one I chased down myself, so I'm really excited to talk to her. And she's a big hero of mine, and I used to sing all of her songs, still do. I've been sitting around all morning singing her songs. I'm just sort of, I'm getting into the Patty zone.
Yeah. Will you play? Is there a musical aspect to it? She's not singing for her supper. It's just a chat.
No, it's a chat, and we'll play a bunch of her songs during the show.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, she was very gracious for doing it, and I'm excited because I know that you can't just go hear a current Patty Loveless interview too many places right now. So I'm honored that she would do it.
Do you have like a question that you're dying to ask her? Or is it more of a conversation type
I
thing?
think it's going to be more of a conversation, and we'll pick out pieces for the show, and then there's a podcast that'll go up that the whole thing will air in its entirety.
Oh, awesome. I got to check it out. Well, Stingray's I have 21, I do middays for 21 stations, Stingray stations across Canada. So those are my people. Those are my people. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I'm going to let you go, and because I know you got to go. It's happening soon, right?
About 10-15 minutes.
Okay. So we'll just end with, we're kind of using the phrase, the show must go on, for Dauphin's Countryfest, because it's a unique festival in that it's a not-for-profit. It's a nonprofit organization, right? All of the profits go back into the community. So it's a vital part of the community in Manitoba, and provincially, not just up in the Dauphin area. And they do different outreach events throughout the course of the year, raise money for different places during the year under the banner of Countryfest. So I just, obviously we talked at the beginning about everybody being responsible and staying home. I think you'd probably like people to adhere to that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Just for everybody to stay safe and
wear your mask or masks. Stay home, keep your gatherings in your bubble, and try to be responsible, and wash your hands.
My mom said this year that she was happy to forego Christmas so that we could have a lot more Christmases. So
that's the thing. I just think people this is not political. It's not about your rights. It's about trying to get back to normal. And as a concert going industry or concert throwing industry, we are going to be the last ones to get to work again. And I'm begging people to just do the right thing so that we can all be part of life again sooner. And it's hard when there's a select few that have this strong belief that this is all a hoax or that it's not real. And the sooner everybody gets on the same page, the sooner we will be able to turn it.